So now, if we observe some horoscopes, like take one horoscope where it's of Taurus ascendant. Taurus is called as Vrishabha in Sanskrit. So take Taurus ascendant, and in the Taurus ascendant, if you observe, eighth lord is Jupiter. So Jupiter is treated as primary malefic planet for Taurus ascendant horoscopes. Even though Jupiter is a natural benefic, but for Taurus ascendant people it's the eighth lord, so it becomes functionally malefic. So I am telling you one horoscope where the ascendant consists of Mars and Rahu, and the fourth house has Saturn, and the seventh house Scorpio has Ketu, and the 10th house has Moon, Jupiter, and Venus. The 11th house has Sun, and 12th house has Mercury. So, in this kind of horoscope, during the Antardasha of Jupiter, the native's father died. See, if you observe Jupiter placement in the horoscope that we are discussing, it is in the 10th house. And if you see for Taurus ascendant, the ninth house is Capricorn. And if you see the Jupiter houses Pisces and Sagittarius, Sagittarius is 12th to Capricorn, and Pisces is third from Capricorn. So Jupiter is the lord of the houses 8 and 11, but 8 and 11 houses are actually 12th from 9th house and third from 9th house. 9th house represents relationship with father. So whenever father related things are predicted in a horoscope, a 9th house takes precedence. 10th house is actually related to father alone, but 9th house relates the mutual relationship with the native and the father. So, 9th house is actually mutual relationships, whereas 10th house is actual father house. So, with respect to the native, what would happen to the father? That can be predicted by 9th house only. So, here Jupiter as lord of the 12th and 3rd houses from the 9th house is a bad planet for father and can cause his death under the normal rules of Vimshottari Dasa system. So, what we desire to point out here is Jupiter is under the influence of as many malefics here, if you observe. So, Jupiter is in the horoscope that we are discussing, it is watched by Saturn, right, and association of Venus. It has Jupiter has association of Venus in the horoscope that we are discussing. I already told you the horoscope that we are discussing consists of Mars and Rahu in the Lagna or ascendant, and the fourth house has Saturn, seventh house has Ketu, and 10th house has Moon, Jupiter, Venus, and 11th house has Sun, and 12th house has Mercury. Then how this Jupiter is under the influence of malefics, you may ask. Even Venus is the uh, Lagna Lord for Taurus ascendant, then how it can be malefic? If you observe the Lagna here, the ascendant, that is the first house, it consists of Mars and Rahu. So, Mars and Rahu are the natural malefics. So, according to nadi astrology, you can say the lord of a house having a malefics also becomes malefic, right. So, Mars Rahu here. So, the lord of this one is Venus, basically lord of this one is Venus. So, Venus also becoming malefic here as the lord of a house consisting of all the malefics. So, this kind of prediction seems to be very surprising, but lord of the sign occupied by Mars and Rahu is also treated as a malefic planet, right, and that is an interesting thing here, and it is watched by Saturn also, right. So, lord of the ninth, basically lord of the ninth is Saturn in our example, and why lord of the ninth Saturn sitting in the fourth house is very much important here, because if you see the fourth house is 8th from ninth. So, whatever is present in the fourth house that can decide the longevity of father. So, your fourth house is very much important if you want to predict your longevity of father, right, father's longevity. So, the fourth house is very much important. So, the lord of the ninth is sitting in the fourth house, that is longevity of father, right. This one is also watched by this moon Jupiter Venus, means the fourth house is watched by moon Jupiter Venus. Here Jupiter is becoming, Jupiter is actually the malefic planet for Taurus ascendant people, and also it is conjuncted by Venus, which is the lord of the ascendant, and the ascendant consists of Mars and Rahu. So, this Venus is also treated as malefic. The primary point here is the surprising point, or this kind of thing you may not observe in regular horoscopes or in regular astrology, that is the lord of the house occupied by malefics is also treated as malefic to an extent. You cannot completely treat it as a benefic, even though it is a benefic planet, even though it is a functionally benefic planet, right. So, here Venus, we are treating Venus as a malefic planet for Taurus ascendant in the example horoscope, for the reason that it is the lord of the sign occupied by malefics Mars and Rahu. So, the general rule therefore would be that a planet who is lord of a sign occupied by a malefic acts as a natural malefic, though it may be a natural benefic, right. So, that is an important point here. Thanks for watching this video.